And hello, welcome back to Burner Flick. I am Zach here with M and Jonah, and today we're going to be talking about the great movie I think is really good, Barbarian.
Barbarian.
So as we said last week, we talked about the movie Leave No Trace,
Yes.
and we all in all thought it was pretty good. You know, we got a nice nine, even nine,
Nine-ish.
nine-ish.
Yeah.
And
A solid 9-ish.
a solid 9-ish. And no, it's not an oxymoron.
Yeah.
But today we are talking about Barbarian,
Mhm.
and there's a lot to unpack for the movie.
Yes. What? So I knew very little about this movie going in. When I started watching it, that's when I realized, hey, I've seen this trailer before. I think I saw the trailer in a movie, like in theaters, like a long time ago, like when it was still like in trailer mode. And it just didn't register, and I never got the title. I never remember the title. So when this movie Barbarian came out, everybody was talking about it. Murph told me about it, and I had no idea what it was because I didn't put two and two together. But as soon as I started watching, and the whole Airbnb mishap stuff started happening, I realized, oh, I remember this commercial, this trailer. But yes, I went into it pretty much blind.
I feel like somebody took a 6-sided dice with different genres of movies and what would happen, and it landed on Airbnb and horror.
Yeah.
And then, they what's his name? Zach Cregger, I think. Yeah, Zach Cregger. He just like, all right, yeah, we'll make a movie about a scary B&B.
Has he done like other movies?
I think this is Zach Cregger, by the way.
Zach Cregger.
I know he was apparently a cast member in Whitest Kids You Know.
Oh, that's different.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know what I was gonna get into.
Yeah.
Before we watched it, because I knew it was gonna be roughly about Airbnb, like an Airbnb mishap horror movie. Initially, I didn't know that this movie was released in theaters. I thought it was straight to streaming. I thought it was
it kind of has that feel a bit.
I think it has a feel because there's very little to no advertising on it.
Yeah.
Like I saw the trailer of this movie in a Facebook reel where somebody was recommending it. You didn't even show the whole trailer. I had to go to YouTube to finish it.
Huh.
And then I thought, oh, this looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And then because this is me watching with you guys my second time watching it.
Yeah. So when I'm sure we all know this story, but when Murph first saw this, it blew his mind like so wide open that he immediately informed us of the existence of this movie. And like, I don't know. I think this movie, it elicits a certain kind of energy. It elicits a certain kind of like, I don't want to say shock, but like it is in a certain sense shocking in that no one expected the things that happen in this movie to happen.
I did
and
not.
Even when you're watching the movie, you have no fucking clue what's gonna happen.
It's full of like from beginning to end, full of suspense.
Yes.
Not knowing what's around the corner. Jump scares are like you think that they're gonna happen.
Yeah.
And you're waiting for them to happen.
I think there was one jump scare.
The one in the beginning, sort of.
Yeah. It wasn't even that big.
No.
And like those jump scares, the ones that were in the movie felt so like validated and supposed to be there.
Yeah.
That they didn't like because a lot of jump scares in the movies just like seem like cheesy. It's like okay,
it's a cat.
Yeah.
Or like something fell.
Yeah.
Or it turned. Yeah.
In this case, it's like the gaining a visual of a person coming towards you, which is done.
Yeah.
It's a trope done in movies before.
I don't even think that's so much a jump scare because like he doesn't appear instantly.
Yeah.
He appears quick. Yeah, and he's crawling on the floor. But I don't think when I think jump scare, I'm not thinking of that. I'm thinking of actually when they were in the Airbnb, and like she was like walking out in the night or something, and and like
Oh,
he was like
mumbling.
he was mumbling in his sleep. He was having night terrors,
Mhm.
and then she tries to arouse him, and then he like wakes up super freaked, and then I think there's like some jump scare music accompanying that,
Yeah.
and like I was also like, oh fuck, and it's funny because like the guy was also scared. He was also not he was not the guy.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, is this guy the guy?
Fully expected him to
Yes.
be. Well, I mean, yeah, Bill
Yeah.
Skarsgård, of the
It clown.
yeah, the It clown.
Pennywise.
100%. Like and he also had that line in the movie where it's like, "Oh, what? I'm not a monster," and it's like,
Right? We all got
"Yeah,
that.
you son of a bitch! Yes, you are. You leave that poor woman alone."
We all got this. I'm glad that I wasn't the only person. I'm
Whoa,
sure you guys
hold
will
on.
understand it.
We should give a synopsis.
Oh,
So
yes.
we're talking about like the guy's not the guy. We're being super vague.
Okay.
What? Catch us up to speed.
All right. So synopsis of this movie is, a woman. Her name is
I don't remember.
God, I
I
forget.
don't remember her name.
All right. So we have main protagonist female.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
find it.
Tess.
Tess
Tess
and semi-main protagonist male Heath.
Heath.
Tess pulls up into this one lit house on a street, somewhere in Detroit, to an Airbnb where she's looking for the code to get in,
Yeah.
and she tries to get in and learns out there's no key there.
Yep.
So she tries communicating with people to get into the house. Here, big synopsis. Actually, I'm just explaining the whole plot here. Synopsis is:
Yeah.
woman gets an Airbnb, issue with another person having the same Airbnb. Later on, they go underground and they find out there's an underground tunnel in the
Yes.
house, and trouble ensues with an inbred.
There
it's an
are
animal
other
woman.
people at this Airbnb
Yes.
besides
Yeah.
yeah. The Airbnb was super
I-
overbooked.
How do I make a synopsis for this without explaining the whole plot in one go?
I think well I mean I can't think of a way to talk about this without literally spoiling everything.
Exactly.
So
I'd assume that if anyone does watch these or listen to these,
Yeah.
that hopefully they watched the movies before.
yeah.
I will
Massive spoilers ahead.
Massive, old, gross, titty having
Yeah.
spoilers.
Oh my
ahead.
god. yeah.
hairy nipple.
Hairy
They
nipple
really
having
played up
spoilers.
the bodily
God.
yeah.
Right?
It's yeah. Have you guys seen the new Blair Witch?
Yeah, from
No.
wait, which one? The one from 2016?
No. Wait, there's a new one?
No, I'm talking about the 2016 one.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Blair Witch sequel.
Yeah, the one that happened a couple
Yeah.
years ago.
I don't know how many sequels there. How many sequels are there?
There apparently I've seen one that's on like Tubi or something that came out in 2019.
Oh, there's another one. Okay.
Yeah, like,
Well, I don't know. In one of the Blair Witches, not the original, but in one of the Blair Witch sequels, you see the Blair Witch, and she's like a scary, naked, giant, Slender Man lady with like crazy hair, and this is kind of like that. Like we have an inbred woman barbarian.
it's like a witch from Left for Dead.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. She's terrifying. She's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure what to expect, and then she showed up, and I'm like, okay, here we are.
This is the movie now.
Yeah,
And this is where things I like in the movie how
yeah,
it doesn't actually come to craziness until the next morning or
The-
next evening.
the craziness continues to ramp up, and then the craziness just comes to a screeching halt
Yes.
when it goes to
Secondary story
what's
with
his-
Justin Long.
Justin Long's character.
His name is AJ.
Plays a complete douchebag.
Yeah.
But you don't. So I saw him. He gave off douchebag vibes, right? And I wasn't sure where this movie was going with him. Like, is he gonna have a redemption arc? Is he gonna become a better person? Like, what's going on here? And I kind of had the idea that he's gonna have a redemption arc. Spoiler alert. That's not what happens.
He just becomes like more and more awful
Yes.
Yeah.
and more self-centered throughout the whole movie.
I think the events in the movie just kind of strip away at his exterior to reveal the more shittiness.
Which reveals the
Um,
real truth of what he was trying to cover up too. In the
Yeah,
first place.
yeah. Just to summarize what's going on with Justin Long's character. Justin Long he plays a semi-famous actor who stars in a TV pilot, and basically he is getting fired and he's getting sued because of accusations of rape, that he
Yes.
raped his co-star. And he's super like playing the victim, like, oh, she's lying, it was consensual. This is crazy. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything like that. I'm not that kind of guy. And then in the beginning, obviously, we don't see the rape. We don't see her perspective. We only see it from his perspective and how he reacts to the crisis of his career falling apart and his agents canceling on him, yada yada yada. And eventually he has to liquidate his assets to pay for the legal fees. So he goes, this guy, by the way, this guy owns the Airbnb. Like, he is the owner of the Airbnb. He doesn't directly takes care of it. I think he has.
Yeah, it's just one of his properties that he owns that other people take care of. His
Mhm.
financial, his financial officers, whatever the hell, they take care of it or whatever.
Yeah,
If you think about how you're talking about this movie, like his part of the movie,
yeah.
it's weird. If you're not watching the movie, it takes away from the real aspect of the movie,
Mhm.
I
Right?
think it's a
Isn't
big risk,
right?
like separating it like that. I think it's a big risk. It kind of worked for me, I gotta say.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it paid off.
I think stopping the craziness right when they did stop it,
Recharges the viewer's batteries for next
and
act.
yeah, and like all of a sudden it cuts to this douchebaggy looking guy driving in, like, I don't know, in a sports car, like, sun's out, it looks happy. Am I watching a car commercial? Like, what's going on? Um, Completely different tone shift, and I kind of liked it. It gave me a little bit of room to breathe. It kind of instilled in me a big what the fuck feeling, but in a good way.
Yeah,
In a good way.
it got us out from hiding under our shirts. Like when I
Yeah.
watched the movie, I was like, I was looking at the screen, but like I averted my eyes a little way just so I
Yeah.
can pretend like I'm watching the movie, but not get jumped by the scares. So I was like this, I was like this and looking away, just so like I wouldn't actually see like if things were gonna pop out at me.
I
I was like this the entire movie.
I deliberately wore like a baggy sweatshirt, and just so I could kind of like
yeah.
hide my face a little bit.
Yeah.
I was kind of like slumped over in my seat the whole time.
If the viewers didn't know, Jonah, not really a horror movie guy, for the most part. But we're glad that you decided to expand your palette a bit to support this podcast. You are very appreciated for that. But yeah, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say the intro, the first like act of this movie. I think it's the strongest act, in my opinion.
Yes, it brings up
Yeah.
character development immediately.
And there's so much character development in the beginning, and there's so much happening in the beginning that kind of plays into anxiety, that kind of plays into ratcheting up the tension, and doubly so because it pulls a fake out. Like, Keith is not the monster, and I thought that was really good.
I thought he would be the issue also.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought
he
he
would
would
be-
have bodies in the basement,
Yeah.
and like,
And he was just smooth talking this woman
yeah,
into the home.
he was so good. What's his name? Not Alexander. Is it Alexander?
No, it's Bill Skarsgård.
Bill.
Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård.
There's a lot of
He
them.
is they're a whole family.
There's a whole
yeah.
cult of them.
They just keep
Just kidding,
multiplying.
Stellan.
Stellan's the old guy, right?
He's the father. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. What was I saying?
Yeah.
Bill's really good. I really liked how awkward he was.
Mhm.
His awkwardness was just the right amount of awkwardness to make it really, really believable.
He's an
Yeah.
all around nice guy. There's a part where he walks up behind her. It wasn't really a jump scare, but
Yeah.
for her perspective, it was. She
Okay.
got nervous, and she goes like, "Ah!" And he's like, "Geez."
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like, he's like, oh, geez. Like he's just a normal, nice guy. Like I'm harmless.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
But
gosh.
but not only that, like he knows, he is aware of how like
Awkward the situation is.
how that too, how awkward the situation is. What I was gonna say is he knows how for women it's a bit harder to like navigate through shady situations because like it's just harder for women. They're you know they're less likely to be able to like effectively fend for themselves
In
if
a
a
situation.
grown ass man decided to like commit crimes upon them like
Especially in an
so
alien
they have to be
town.
more careful and
Especially-
he's aware of that for example like the whole thing with the tea um
Right. He's like, you can have the tea, but I understand because you didn't watch me make
yeah
it.
but
And
another thing that kind of plays into the awkwardness is like the fact that he said that is also kind of awkward.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that. Okay, what's going on here? Like he can play the understanding guy, but at the same time, it kind of comes off a little bit creepy. But at the same time, he seems really sincere. But also at the same time, like he feels kind of weird. There's so much like
this movie's playing with your emotions and your
yeah,
and your thoughts. Like, is this gonna go where I think it's gonna go?
like I feel like I'm standing on a pedestal that's super shaky
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to Bill Skarsgård's character in the beginning because I'm like I don't know how I feel. I feel very unsteady about this guy, which is number one, great acting. Number two, great writing, and I also thought it was really interesting how the bulk of the drama, quote unquote drama, um, in the beginning I really like the way that it was lit because it's hard to make a dark scene like dynamic, but I don't know. I did not feel like the camera work was boring. I felt that it just showed exactly what I needed to see, and the way I don't know, like indoor room lighting, it can be pretty boring. It's not something you think about a lot, but I thought the way that they lit this is a dark ass Airbnb, by the
Yeah.
way. Like,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of lights in the living room, and like it's really interesting what they did with the lighting here. I really appreciated that.
Speed of lighting.
Yeah.
In the beginning, remember when she gets to the house and only one light on, and she looks around the
I
neighborhood.
love that shot.
Right. That's exactly.
I
They look.
fucking love that shot.
Yeah. They look around the neighborhood, and they see all the lights are off and dark, and thinks, oh, people just have their lights off, and it's a normal neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah,
Till
yeah.
the next morning, she leaves the house to go to her interview.
Yeah.
She noticed that all the houses are run down and abandoned,
Yes.
vacant.
Super
And it's
creepy.
that's creepy. You think for a second, like, why is this out of all homes
Yeah.
the only one? Which then raises up your suspicions of why are they at this home?
Mm.
Of all the places in the world, there could have been an Airbnb.
Yeah.
This is the one place.
And what's funny about that is like when AJ, Josh Long's character,
Yeah.
pulls up to the Airbnb, doesn't think anything of it, just literally goes
He's-
inside
he's
and is
such-
wondering
trying
why
to-
someone's stuff is in his house.
Cool, right?
He is such a one track. Like he's so self-centered, he can't even see his surroundings.
No.
Like it's
It's like no one's gonna buy this fucking thing,
dude,
Yeah.
when he went into the basement and like he was just measuring the square footage
I
because
lost my shit.
he's looking at this creepy ass basement, this creepy ass hallway, this creepy ass like basically torture room jail cell in his basement. He's all he's seeing is like dollar signs. He's like
Mhm.
seeing dollar signs, square footage, and like he's looking up like he looked up
He's
what did
down. He's all the way down there.
yes
Then comes back up and looks up square foot. Or no, not all
Yes.
the way down there. He's looking up square footage
yes.
and then sees that there's more. So where you think he's back there? He think
Oh my
he's
god.
all shit's gonna break. All hell's gonna break loose again.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, I'm safe. I'm just looking up on the internet.
Yeah.
Yes. And such a contrast to Tessa's character. Tess, she saw that like that trapdoor, not trapdoor, the secret door.
Secret
she
door.
looked down that dark hallway and she was like, nah.
Nope.
Literally,
Not
nope.
today, Satan.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if that was a little homage to Nope.
Maybe.
What if it was like just one line? He's like,
They came out pretty recently, but I think the idea is very similar.
right?
Yeah.
And then it shows that no, I'm a normal person.
Yeah.
A normal person wouldn't just go down some random creepy door
Mm-hmm.
without really knowing more behind it. Until later on, she got a little curious because she was stuck down there anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, understandable. She felt like she was trapped. She wanted to go, but still.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Let me ask you guys about the flashback to the 50s, 70s,
I think it was the 80s.
80s, whatever, whenever it was. No, it had to be more than 80s because
The song I heard on the radio
it might have been 80s.
was a Van Halen song.
It might have been 80s. Never mind.
Was it Van Halen?
I can't remember.
I thought it might have been the 70s, just because the homeless guy later said that that Barbarian lady has been around for over 40 years, which
Very
makes
true.
me think 70s. But you know,
It was also
2020.
2020.
2020, yeah, could be
We
80s.
said
could be
over
70s.
40 years,
Yeah. Regardless,
or she'd have already been around before that
I,
time
I
frame.
feel like that flashback might be one of the weaker parts of the movie, in
Mhm.
that I didn't really need all that backstory, to be
Very
honest.
true.
I think this is just my opinion. I think it might have been more mysterious, creepy, if they didn't answer so many questions.
I mean, because then
Maybe
you're there sitting there like, wow,
or
why is she there?
give us like a little bit of her backstory in the form of breadcrumbs
Hmm.
or like background stuff. A whole ass flashback to 40 years ago with like her father and how he's a super criminal creep guy.
Who commits
Yeah,
Um,
incest
serial-
on his own
yeah,
children.
does he
serial
kill? Does he kill the women or?
I'd
No,
assume.
so the homeless guy explains that he
Yeah.
probably kills them. He probably does.
Yeah,
But he says like he spends times in abducting women and
Yeah.
making babies with those babies.
yes,
So she's like the product of,
many generations.
many generations of or multiple
of
generations of
incest.
incest.
So okay, that
And then I guess he wants to be a mom.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably all she's ever known in that house was to make babies, because that's probably what her generations before her were.
yeah.
Plus the
supposed to
video
do.
too that he got. Remember there was a video playing.
Yeah, I remember
That's
he
probably
picked it
all
up
she's
at the
known.
exactly.
At one point, when AJ was going towards that room, she started to back away once, just stop chasing
Oh
him.
yeah, I was thinking
It
I
is-
was thinking there was something even scarier.
Yeah, he says that she's not the only one who lives down there.
Yeah.
I think in a way, obviously he is scarier than her because
It's caused pain and torment for
yeah,
her mother before and before. And
Yeah.
before.
yeah, he was the bad guy.
What you know how at the end of the tunnel is a bell?
Yeah.
Do you think that bell is for her?
I have no
Or do you think it was for him?
I believe so. I believe that they have some sort of twisted relationship where she, in a weird way, takes care of him. I feel like that's the only way, and I feel like that's the only way that makes sense.
Mhm.
Why else would that bell be there? Who else is that bell for? I also thought it was funny how, like, what is Justin Long's character's name?
AJ.
AJ. I thought it was funny that when AJ went into the old man's room and the old man was reaching, AJ was like, "Oh, what do you want to
Some
drink?"
water?
Like, he's clearly trying to ring the bell. And he moves the little desk of drinks over, and he's like, "What do
Oh,
you
yeah.
want? You want this? You want that?" Such an idiot. Really good comic relief though.
Mhm.
I like that. And he reached for the gun after AJ said that the cops are coming. Do you remember that?
hmm
I don't-
Yeah.
And at that point, like I knew he wasn't gonna shoot AJ. He was probably gonna shoot himself.
Because he probably realized, oh, it's
over. Yeah.
Yeah, it's finally up. The jig is up.
It's been a good
He
run.
probably really thought that there were actual cops there, when really the cops were more useless than anything.
So useless.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
maybe that
That's
could
just
be,
Detroit cops.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe it's just more jabs at police officers that they put in movies as little breadcrumbs of like, hey, fuck you.
I think a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
And yeah, also they want to make like, have the police officers come by and like, oh, that finishes the issues
Yeah.
here, which probably
Um,
wouldn't.
I think I mean, to be honest, like inner city cop, the amount of bullshit that they probably deal with, uh, to what extent can they follow every crazy lead like that? And
True.
also, like, you
We're not
know,
gonna just break into a home
yeah,
for you to tell us like, no, you could be a crackhead, or you can
yeah.
break like, I'm gonna break in the only nice home here. Makes sense, actually.
They probably want to like police report, and then they at some point someone would follow up.
Yeah, it'll
But
end up on someone's desk.
yeah,
um, but at the same time, it's their job. They should look into serious matters like that. Um, yeah, like I said, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Isn't it interesting? So
Yeah,
imagine this, right? What's her name again?
Tess.
Tess. Sorry, seen the movie twice.
Yeah.
Tess. She, she's able to escape, the down there from the cage that she was in
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
Justin Long's character was being,
Stupid.
oh yeah. Let's talk about this actually.
Yeah.
The biggest shocking scene of the movie was when he's pulled out of the cage because he refuses to drink milk from the bottle, from the dirty, disgusting, hairy bottle
Yeah.
that she puts down because
Oh,
her hands are so
yeah.
big.
Yes.
And then the unthinkable happens. I really never saw it coming. Is when they
Oh, really?
skips. I didn't see it coming. No, at first I did not see it coming.
Oh.
I did not see the coming of the fact that he was going to be forced against his will to suck on the teat of an inbred woman
This
monster.
lady barbarian.
well, I mean, the only video, or I guess education she's probably ever gotten is that video.
Yeah, the
that-
breastfeeding
yeah,
video.
the breastfeeding video.
But I'm telling you, I really didn't. Well, maybe I did expect it. I just didn't expect it to be so shocking.
I think she just assumed that AJ was a fussy baby. and
Yeah.
that he wasn't taking a bottle. So, like, all right, well,
Yeah.
let's go breastfeed, little baby.
The funny, it's just, can you imagine? I mean, the whole situation is terrifying.
It's so, dude. Yeah.
But imagine being forced to drink the milk from this extremely strong, inbred woman,
I mean,
barbarian thing person.
I'm not stupid. I'd listen to the chick that's telling me how to survive. She says, "Hey, you should probably drink that so she doesn't bash your head in." It's like, okay, I'm all about it.
And the biggest,
I just don't like characters like AJ where they don't grasp the situation.
Mm-hmm.
They're just so full of themselves and of their own disgust and of their own like ickiness. They don't fucking understand the situation they're in, and then that's what gets them killed. And at that point, I'm like, you deserve to be killed.
I thought Justin Long, just the way he portrayed AJ throughout the whole movie,
Yeah.
was interesting because that's almost like the polar opposite of any character he's ever played before.
Yeah,
Also-
he
also-
mostly plays like the kind geeky guy.
Yeah.
Sort
Yeah.
Of.
like, well, there is another movie in which he played like a douche, but I can't remember.
Hmm.
I mean, no, actually, no, you're right. I can't think of another one where he's been this guy.
I can only really think of 2 movies he's been in.
Like, he did two or three other horror movies.
Mhm.
He did Tusk, he did Drag Me to Hell, and he did Jeepers Creepers.
I remember Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to Hell. I thought it was good when I was like 12, and I hadn't watched it again when I was
Never
20.
seen Tusk. What is Tusk?
Tusk.
What
You
is
ever heard of
that?
Tusk?
I heard is the Tusk the one that? Well, I don't watch a lot of horror movies, but I'm pretty sure it was either Tusk or Antlers is the one that
Antlers.
no one should
Antlers
watch.
was a different one. It wasn't. Antlers was interesting.
I'm thinking of Teeth. Never mind.
No, Tusk. Yeah, Teeth was a weird one. Tusk was a movie with Justin Long. He's this guy goes to this other eccentric billionaire's like home,
All right.
or eccentric doctor's home or whatever,
Okay.
to interview him for something.
Mhm.
And the doctor then drugs him, then turns him into his favorite animal, a walrus. It's literally like a snuff thing. where
Oh.
He sews his hands together and like arms,
Oh.
creating like
So it's like
and his feet together.
Human centipede, but walrus.
Exactly.
Human walrus.
It's Human Centipede, but American-made weird movie.
Okay.
Oh,
I've
no
never
thanks.
seen.
I'm fine. I'm okay.
It's I've
Hard
heard a
pass.
movie for a long time ago, and then I finally watched
Yeah.
an Deployment. It was
Uh,
I don't like movies like that where it's like that much shock and that much like
Mm.
gore and like And what do you call that? Disfigurements.
Yeah, body horror.
Yeah.
Body horror.
Yeah, I don't like body horror films. I'm not a fan of it.
Torture porn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just like
I
weird.
I think it's fun to watch them in a group.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it was fun when it
I
did it.
think those go for.
But then you're
those are
left
pretty
on your
good
own.
in a group situation.
Then you're left on your own thoughts when you're in your rack for 8 hours. You're like, fuck, did I just watch a man get turned into waters?
I watched a lot of the Spit on Your Grave movies on the Providence. Hated them.
They're just the worst acting.
Yeah. I mean the concept is interesting. Rape revenge, it's kind of it's really weird. Rape revenge movies where on one hand it's supposedly women empowerment cuz the girl gets revenge. But on the other hand, it's like I don't know. It's like it's playing up the rapiness of the rape, and like, and in that sense, it's like this is I don't know. It's two sides that kind of like conflict with each other, and you're like, does the revenge part really make up for how fucked up the rapey part is? Like, and like, I don't know.
It's funny. It's like, yeah. I mean, it's wrong. Like, yeah, you got raped, but apparently, murder is is not as bad.
I think a lot of times with these like rape revenge type movies, like they play up the violence to make up for the injustice of the rape.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of like a transactional ethics thing. Like, I don't know. It just seems kind of, I don't have words for it.
I can't think of words either for it,
Yeah.
but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's like saying a shit ass. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Say the shit ass.
You know it when you see it. Anyway, I was very confused about how the tunnels were made. They never really explained that. Is he just a very dedicated miner? Like,
Or did he just get lucky when he got the home and just it all ended up being like that in his basement?
So that basement tunnel system cave thing. One thing that really, I guess, caught my eye. There's a gate, and that gate kind of looks like an old
Mine
style gate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like a mine shaft?
No. I'm talking about it. Almost looks like the gate that you would see to a
To a backyard?
to a garden or a backyard.
Mhm.
It seemed like that kind of gate, and it seemed old. Do you think maybe these tunnels were like Underground Railroad type deal for like slavery times? Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
And it was just like kept there for the longest time, and then this rapey murder guy bought the house that it so happened to have this Underground Railroad system, and he discovered it, and he's like, oh wow, I could turn this into my dungeon. And then
I can put 4 cages over here.
Yeah.
A second bedroom over here where I'll
Yeah.
spend the rest of my life.
We'll film the action in this room.
We'll have a nice glow of violet out of this room. I like the color of that room for some reason. I think it was just
It was very eerie.
yeah.
Yeah, because like it was violet, and it elicited some sort of like femininity,
yeah.
but it's super twisted because it's just fucking creepy.
Also, of all the movie, that was
Yeah.
the most color.
In that room,
Yeah. It was
yes,
the most color of the entire.
Yes,
Well,
I
actually,
agree.
except for when they're back in the 50s or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
age it was.
Yeah.
But in the main story, of course,
I agree.
That's it.
I agree.
That other thing was just for storytelling anyway.
Yep. I have not seen a good horror movie in a while. I think the last one I saw was
Nope.
I don't really consider that horror.
Right?
I consider
okay.
that thriller. I consider it sci-fi thriller.
Okay, that's true.
I
It's
think
way
mine was the Black Phone.
Black Phone. I did watch the Black Phone. That's such a forgettable movie.
Yeah.
I forgot about it as soon as I watched
I
it.
haven't seen it because like I wanted to see it,
Ethan Hawke's
then-
good in it.
and then you told me it's like it's not something you'd like really like watch, like go out of your way to watch again.
I literally forgot that it existed, and I paid money to see it.
I was gonna
I,
watch it on Peacock.
Yeah, I didn't find anything in that movie too rememberable.
Mhm.
I mean, child actors are
They really bogged that one down.
yeah.
We live in an era of Stranger Things where you can get really good child actors. Like the first It movie, not the first It, but
Like the first remake.
the first remake.
Yeah.
I thought they had great child actors
Mhm.
for that one. Like, so there are great child actors out there.
Yeah.
And that kind of opened my eyes to what bad child acting is.
Well, and like that the drunk dad, alcoholic
Oh
dad.
my god.
Oh yeah.
Bad. Like that was I don't know. Yeah, Ethan Hawke was good. Everything else in that movie was
Yeah.
Yeah, every movie
Forgettable.
based is like this movie based on modern times or back in time?
I think it's based on back in
Like,
I think-
back in the day.
Or the
I think
90s.
the 80s.
I think so. Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I want to see it. I know you said whatever about
It's
it.
not bad.
I-
It's not bad. It's just very forgettable. The child actors are, you could tell they're
Child actors.
not quite professional yet. Not all of. I thought the main guy was okay. I thought the sister was kind of
Sister was
Um,
pretty over the top.
But yeah. Black Phone. I would not recommend you pay money to see it, but if it's on Peacock, throw it on. See what you like about it. Ethan Hawke, the Black Phone for some reason just really likes to show Ethan Hawke shirtless, and I just thought that was weird. There's like 2 or 3 scenes where like he's shirtless, and like in 2 of them he's like in leather decked out, like with a gimp mask or whatever, or the Black Phone mask, and he just looks gimpy and like sexual, and I'm just like, what is this movie going for?
You want
There's
Ethan
like
Hawke?
there's like a sweaty sheen on his chest. His chest is completely shaven. I it sounds like I fixated on Ethan Hawke's chest,
Sweaty chest.
but I swear to God, it's the cinematography. The movie was putting it in my face, and like that's why I remember it. Okay,
Eat this.
it's not a reflection on me. It's a reflection on the movie. All right.
I'm really.
I have to change the wallpaper to my phone when I get home. But I'm telling you, it was just a movie.
We're gonna make a Ethan Hawke Black Phone
Um,
calendar.
Ethan Hawke, he's a really interesting actor. I think he's a household name, but he's not quite considered superstar. He's
Never really was, right?
He's done excellent work.
Right.
Excellent work. And he chooses really interesting projects.
My favorite movies of his
Yeah.
were what you recommended, Richard Linklater's movies.
Yes, the Before trilogy.
Trilogy.
There's a movie called Gattaca. I don't know if you guys ever heard
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah,
It's like a sci-fi-ish movie. It has Jude Law in it, and Ethan Hawke. I didn't really enjoy the movie too much, but the acting was very good. Ethan Hawke's very good. I'm thinking of Training Day.
Training Day.
Training-
Yeah.
He is so good in Training Day. He gets outshone by Denzel,
Of
which
course.
is
I mean,
unfortunate.
it's not
Unfortunate.
unfortunate. It was gonna happen.
I think it is unfortunate because Ethan Hawke did a really good job.
Denzel Washington's like
Yeah,
a force to be reckoned with.
it's kind of like the Christian Bale Joker thing. Like Christian Bale's really good, but he got overshadowed by Heath Ledger, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Very true.
But obviously, like both of these people got overshadowed by their partners because their partners were just that good.
Mhm.
So I'm not taking away from Denzel. I'm not taking away from Heath Ledger. They were that good that they overshadowed these other incredible actors.
John Travolta did that to himself with Denzel before with The Taking of Pelham 123. He
I-
did a movie with Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
That Denzel Washington and I'm just like, yes, I'm gonna do this movie with Denzel Washington and bring my career back. Oh
Yeah.
wait, I'm doing a movie with Denzel Washington.
I saw that a long time. I saw it when it first came out. Actually,
It wasn't bad.
I honestly don't remember too much about it.
I've seen it once, but it was okay.
Yeah, once is probably enough to see that movie.
I
But
only
it's-
prefer to
That was
watch
good.
the only John Travolta movie that that I'm okay with watching more than once is Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I feel like he's done other stuff. What else has he done?
He's done stuff. Of course he has.
I know, but stuff in which he's
Remembered?
like critically
Grease.
acclaimed.
Grease. That's pretty much it.
Oh yeah, that's
Grease,
old.
Pulp Fiction.
Maybe. What's that movie where
He was on Face Off.
Face Off? Okay,
Oh,
that's another one. Okay,
I've seen so many clips. I've never actually seen Face Off.
it's
I
it's
mean,
every '90s movie ever.
Everyone tells
but
me
with
it's
also
Nicolas
Nick
Cage.
Cage.
It's like peak Nick Cage.
Oh yeah.
Is it peak?
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Maybe
Absolutely.
peak '90s Nick Cage. Because I think true peak Nick Cage is Mandy. That's just my opinion. But yeah.
I saw a meme with him screaming in the bathroom in Mandy.
Oh my god. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I know we've talked about Mandy before. 2018 movie, super weird.
It's so good.
It's just like an acid trip, dude.
Suck your dick, man.
I'll suck your dick, man.
It's that's all you know. It's pretty. That's actually a really decent movie. I didn't expect it.
So weird.
It was-
So weird. You have to be a certain kind of person to appreciate a certain kind of weird to like that or enjoy that movie.
That actually
Um,
it brought me back to caring for Nicolas Cage again. And I never thought
Yes.
anybody would ever not care about Nick Cage.
Mhm.
But then I watched it again and I was like, oh, faith restored.
Cage's love.
Cage's life. Yeah.
Cage's love.
And then I saw Pig, and then I saw
Yeah.
that we were talking about Nick Cage right
I
now.
haven't seen that yet. The Nick Cage movie where he plays Nick Cage. What's that movie called?
Oh,
again?
Unbearable Weight of Massive
yes. I
Talent.
actually have not seen that. I heard it's good.
No,
I
it
heard
was-
it's not amazing, but it's like good.
It's good if you're a fan of Nick Cage and Nick Cage films.
It's- It's good. It is.
It's good.
You know, I to be honest though, I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah, I don't think I would go out of my way to watch it, but I'm happy that I did watch it.
Yeah,
All right.
it is fulfilling to watch it. I'll say.
Are there references to his other movies in it?
Yes, of course.
Oh, all right.
He does play himself, so
I do enjoy a good Easter egg.
you know, you definitely utilizes
Yeah.
Lord of War.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not like Lord of War.
Well,
Oh, really?
You're in for a ride then.
Oh, wow.
No. There's other stuff. It's not big.
Okay.
that's
I mean,
the
I-
only
I'm prob-
movie they mention.
In fact, when you watch
Yeah.
the movie, it's just Lord of War.
It's literally Lord of
They
War.
changed the name to trick you.
You know what I didn't like? I didn't like the Lord of War knockoff with Miles Teller. What was that called?
War
Oh,
Dogs.
War Dogs. With
I
Jonah
thought that
Hill.
movie was also garbage.
It was a knockoff, wasn't it?
It was literally. It was even worse than garbage. It was worse than Lord of War. First of all,
It's because they're always trying to make Miles Teller
the guy.
the guy.
I think Hollywood right now is trying to make Miles Teller like a really big thing.
It's too late. He's in his mid to late 30s. It's not too late.
I'm
It's never too late.
I think
Yeah.
he's been in some good films.
For sure. Undeniably.
But not because of Miles Teller.
I
don't think.
He did.
I think
he did-
there's one movie where Miles Teller made the movie, and I think that's it's a teen movie. It's I
Project X.
no
He
no
was-
no
he
no
cameoed in that
no
movie.
no. It's an indie movie. It
Oh,
has Shailene Woodley in
Yeah,
it.
you watched it. The spectacular. Now.
The Spectacular Now.
You showed me the movie.
I think he's really. I think I played on Christmas.
Wait, no.
It was on
Man,
Christmas.
Whiplash, dude.
No, that's J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons made Whiplash.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but he did.
Yeah, I think anyone.
Miles Teller was along for the ride.
Yeah, anyone could
Okay.
probably play.
All right,
Yeah.
fine. I guess I'm.
And that's not even a Christian Bale Heath Ledger dynamic.
You're right.
Because like
This is like
If you-
this,
like anybody could have played Miles Teller's
this
character.
is a Marlon Brando
Literally,
and a
you could've
newborn baby.
Thrown a loaf of bread and given it lines, and it would have had the same effect. Like Miles Teller, he's a competent actor, but his work in Whiplash, he doesn't really do much.
True.
Yeah.
There wasn't much
Yeah.
dialogue in the movie anyway.
And yeah, I don't know.
A
Yeah.
potato with drumsticks.
You got me there. You're right. Spectacular now.
Yeah.
He does make it. You can go back with saying I apologize.
Thank you. I love being right.
Don't hit
All
me.
right, moving on.
He's gonna hit me when we stop recording.
Barbarian.
Barbarian. Yeah, a lot of not jump scares.
You missed it. You went to the bathroom.
Oh.
When you went to the bathroom when so they were huddled in this rundown church building?
Some building.
Some sort of building with the hobo guy, and the hobo guy they're talking over the fire, and they're like the hobo guy's talking about like, oh, you guys would be safe here. And like he really like hammered the idea that like they're safe here.
I've been here for 10 years.
And like no, he said 15.
Oh yeah.
He said 15. He said, I've been here 15 years and she's never come in. And then she busts through the wall. She rips his arm off.
That's the part I saw.
You're walking in.
Yeah.
I walked out when I got up to go to the bathroom. The point that I walked out at when I thought it was going to be a good spot to walk out was when they like just got out of the house. I'm like, all right, they're probably going to like lay low for a little bit, and then like maybe they'll go back or something.
They did lay low for a little bit.
Yeah, for a very short amount of time. I come back from the bathroom.
Yeah.
First thing I see is this homeless guy sitting there for like maybe 2 seconds and just gets his arm ripped off. And I'm like, all right, okay. This is where we're at now.
Oh, God.
This is the climax.
I just imagine the barbarian lady was just like eavesdropping in the wall and just like listening to this guy saying like, she hasn't come in here in 15 years. And then she's just like, bet. And then just Kool-Aid Man's into the wall.
She
And
killed him
proceeds
because she abducted her child. Because he abducted her child.
Were any of you surprised with AJ's decision to quote unquote sacrifice
Low key,
Tess?
I mean, while selfish, it's also a smart decision. Like, what else is going to save you in a situation? Would you really, because he knows she's going to kill him. She might. But, like, there's, in that situation, what do you do? What would you do?
I would not do that.
Yeah, I think it really depends.
I would offer to suck her teat again. That's what I would do. I'll be a good boy.
Take me down there. I'm gonna pick up my toy, which is the gun, or I'm sucking her teat.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, he had the gun. No, he dropped it.
He dropped it.
Oh my gosh.
Or else he wouldn't have done that.
No, after he dropped the gun, like if that was me and I dropped the gun, I would be like, I'm stupid. I should just kill myself.
Just jump.
Well,
I would just jump at that point.
I think at that point it's like comes down to who it is and their morals behind it, because like obviously this guy is a douchebag throughout the whole movie. Did I expect him to do that? No.
I didn't either. Me neither.
Me neither.
But I think it goes back to what you said, like, oh, maybe he's gonna change. Maybe maybe he's not gonna be a bad guy at the end. Again, throughout the whole movie, he just showed you why he's this awful guy.
He shoots Tess.
Dude.
That surprised me. I mean, I was thinking like they're approaching each other and like it's dark and like he's freaking out and like is he gonna shoot her? And like it shows her perspective and she's walking down the corridor and like she sees the light and then like a sharp pop noise and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's a fucking idiot.
If you can see a body you can know that, especially in the light, that there's a person there.
God, I was wondering, like, does this guy have any idea how to handle firearms? Like, is he? And then like he shoots her, and I'm like, okay. For a second, I thought he killed her.
Well, I think
for a second,
in his defense, in the gunshot at least, I think we've all been in a dark room with a phone light and knowing that it doesn't light up everything in the room.
Yeah.
I think him being in a very, very dark hallway and he knows that, this lady is out there. This lady's literally down there with him somewhere.
Yeah.
Lurking. And Wait, no. She was up. She was up.
She was
pinned against the house with the
but
car.
he didn't know that.
Oh,
He didn't know that. He didn't know that at the time. But like, yeah, he sees Tess like stalking through the hallways. So
Tess.
yeah, I know. I think it was just like
he went back.
Bad timing.
Oh God. She didn't even have to go back. She chose to. She was like, "We have to help him." She's trying to tell the cops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think she felt bad about Keith?
I think she had been there for about a week or two.
That's true.
Because remember, she said like, nobody's been here for a couple weeks.
She's been there for a minute.
At that point, I think she started like, what is there to grieve? It's not really grieving. It's like more shock at this point.
Yeah.
She's probably still at this point just trying to stay alive. And
I think she's just trying to get through.
Therapy will see how she feels later. It's funny how she like really liked him too.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
They did have some chemistry like near the end of that first act.
But he had to scrape it out of her too.
Yeah.
He definitely had to because obviously
understandably because the situation's a little shady.
Of course.
But like with all that said, I think he played it as best as he could play it. Keith, that is. Cuz I mean clearly he acted the way he did and like pursued her the way he did because he was into her.
I like the way he was acting as if he was really talking to her, as if there's a real encounter.
Yeah.
That's the way he was acting. She had it too, but I think it was more, I felt more from him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because of the legendary family of acting. But he was literally, I felt like he was not acting. He was just
it was so good.
A good time.
Their interactions were so good. Yeah.
I wonder how they do that. If they're filming, do you think they're really acting or they're actually just filming them, theatrically filming them, but they're just like, hey, act, but like be casual and have a good time together.
I mean, that's called acting. That's improvisation,
right?
Yeah, that is also acting. They might have. It sounded so natural. That's probably what they did. I think so.
I have a feeling.
I think the director was like, hey, you guys are in this awkward situation. Keith, you're into her, but you're also trying to not make her too uncomfortable. Go. And then maybe they just did a couple takes and like, pick the best one, that sort of thing.
Zach Cregger is a comedian, so I think improv is a huge thing for them.
Yeah.
And wants it to be real. I feel like people who are big on drama are different than people who are big on comedy.
I think so. I feel like comedians tend to have better writing.
Right.
And they tend to have they're human the quote unquote human interactions between characters in productions that are headed by comedians, they tend to feel more real. In my opinion. And I'm just thinking of like comedian type shows like Louie or Fleabag or Master of None.
Those are the comedy in real life.
Yeah.
The funny things in everyday life.
And comedians, like, to be a successful comedian, you have to understand like human communication at a super high level. Yeah. As opposed to a movie like, I don't know, something that Michael Bay does. Like,
every teenage girl in high school is
super smoking hot.
Yeah.
And every dude who gets said smoking hot woman is just awkward looking dude who will end up semi-ruining his career, but also saving at the same time later on.
And they're gonna drive very, very expensive sports cars.
Yes. With no insurance whatsoever.
And everyone's gonna be super fucking sweaty all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
And also, whenever you're getting out of a car, it's going to be a low-rise shot.
Oh, yeah. And the camera's going to rotate 360.
Yes, when you're just going through a door. Well, we say that, but God damn it, I'll probably still watch every single movie he makes.
And he's a millionaire, so he doesn't give a shit what the critics say.
Wipe my tears with my $100 bill, which I also use to wipe my ass.
Yes, unsanitary.
I mean, they probably $100 bills.
Probably do tears then ass, not the other way.
Yeah.
Pink eye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like
watch out for that
dry.
Also, $100 bill pink eye.
When you dry yourself, do you sometimes accidentally dry your ass before your head? Is it an accident sometimes?
I do top down.
I do top down too.
I do top down.
I forget.
Yeah.
There's another
well,
side of the towel. There.
regardless, even if I didn't do top down, like I walk out of that shower
Clean.
with a squeaky clean butthole every time.
Wash your ass.
Yes.
Wash your ass.
Right. Your Uncle Sam's coming for you.
That is my method of operation.
Just making sure.
Okay.
Well, back to
there's one thing I want to talk about in terms of editing. I really liked the shortcuts to show what the character was thinking, and I'm specifically referring to the first act when Tess is like in the basement and like, oh, she remembers that like the key is not in the lockbox, and it quickly shows a cut to that lock, and I really appreciate that. I was watching it and I'm thinking like, okay, this movie is clearly communicating to me what exactly is going on in Tess's brain right now, and I really appreciate how simple it is. Rather than her exclaiming, "Oh, I left the key in the lockbox," or like saying something like that. Instead she has like a look of like shock as she remembers that detail, and then the movie cuts to that actual image, and it does that more than once. I think it does that a couple times.
To her keys on the counter.
Keys on the counter.
There's the keys on the counter,
yeah.
And to what else was? I know it's keys on the counter.
Mm-hmm.
It was the keys in the lockbox, and I think a phone. Maybe I can't remember, or maybe just no. That was it. I think
it's a really small, mundane like editing thing. But I don't know. When it happened, I appreciated how easily the movie was able to convey to me what was going on in the character's mind, what challenges the character is thinking of, what like speed bumps are arriving in the character's path to whatever she is trying to accomplish. Small little tidbit there of editing that I really appreciated. And overall the movie has excellent pacing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's slow when it needs to be slow, and like things move when things need to move, and obviously the big cut where the tension at the highest point of the tension, it just cuts you off. Very very bold editing move.
for a second there, I thought the movie was over.
Oh really?
For a second, when I first watched it,
yeah.
I thought, is that it? And then
it
switches. Because it stopped.
Yeah.
Because I thought, oh, it stops,
mm-hmm.
and then it goes to end credit.
Yeah.
And then it goes to Justin Long singing music, singing songs.
Yeah.
Hey, this now is the happy-go-lucky times. We're good to go.
Yeah. What is this? The intro to Full House? Like,
or it'd be like two non-linear storylines from some different things going on, where it could have been like almost like and what is it called? Anthology type thing.
Anthology, yeah.
I thought it was going to be an anthology.
Really?
I did. Well,
wow.
When Justin Long's character came on, I'm like, oh, okay, it's now I guess we're going to get a different story in another part of the country, and it's going to be hopefully maybe similar or maybe different. I don't know.
Interesting.
We'll see. And then when it turned out that it was just his Airbnb, I'm like, all right, this guy's about to get fucked up too. Right.
I'm wondering how the way they're saying Barbarian sounded Barbary.
Barbary?
I thought when they said the word Barbarian Street or Barbarian,
Barbary Street,
Barbary
Street. I didn't even pick up on that.
Oh,
it's literally Barbary.
Oh my god!
Wow,
I didn't even pick up on that.
It's called Barbary. But they call it Barbarian for the movie because maybe
it happens on Barbary Street. There are literal barbarians living in this house on Barbary Street.
I mean, if you think about it, she could be like, it's a barbarian or,
Oh, trivia. Do you guys know where barbarian comes from?
No. I didn't know it came from anything.
Barbarian is a word that, okay, this could be wrong. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I think I read this on Reddit, so I don't know if it's true. But I'm gonna continue. Barbarian
sources, trust me, bro.
Yeah. Barbarian apparently comes from, it's a Roman term, and it refers to the Latin speaking peoples of Germany and England who opposed the Roman Empire. And when they spoke, it sounds like their language is bar, 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 bar. So the Romans called these tribes, tribal people, they called them barbarians.
Is it barbarians?
Yeah, because they talk like bar, 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 apparently. I don't know. We should probably, I'll look that up later. I'm probably wrong.
Just edit that with a video later.
We'll edit that out.
In post. We'll do it in post. That's what we do here.
Yeah.
Well,
I really like going back to Justin Long. The moment I realized that this guy has no redemption arc was when he was drunk
at the club
talking to his friend.
Mm.
That's when I realized, oh shit, he actually raped this girl.
Well, she didn't say yes at first, but a couple minutes,
she was into it, man. Yeah, she was into it. And then I'm just like, oh god. At that point, I was hoping there would be no redemption arc. I was hoping that I hope this guy gets eaten by the barbarian.
You almost think he does when even after he shoots Tess.
Yeah.
He's like he's sorry about it. He's like I'm gonna let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, your car's fucked. Oh wait, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Maybe he was saying maybe I am a bad person.
Yeah, I really thought that was funny
right?
when he was pondering whether or not he's a bad. Am I a bad person? I just oh god. Oh man.
What else we have to say about this movie?
I don't know.
I feel like I have so much more to say, but I just can't think about right now. I'm gonna start bringing up. I'm gonna start writing down topics to talk about in the movie.
True critics of news publications, they take notes when they watch movies, but then they take notes without looking at their notepad. So they're really good at knowing where they are in terms of writing. Because if I'm writing and I don't look at what I'm writing, I'm fucking all over the paper. So.
Just get a steno pad and then write something on the paper.
Yeah,
squiggled out and just slips into paper. So
I don't think I'd get out of a movie everything I enjoy in watching a movie if I had a notepad with me.
Yeah, I think it's a skill. It's a skill that you develop and learn over time.
Maybe if I were to watch the movie twice.
Maybe if I were to get paid to do reviews, then maybe I would do it.
If I got paid, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think at that point, I don't know, my hobby becomes
your job.
My job.
Yeah. I think that's why a lot of critics tend to be more critical because it's their job.
If I'm getting paid for this, I'm going to do this correct.
Yeah.
Which I agree.
And then you end up with a lot of bad critics.
Mm.
We all can't be, Roger Ebert.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. in peace.
I'm ready to say my piece.
I am too.
Yes.
All right. So, if you guys want to start first, or I'll start, whatever you guys want to do. I can't remember.
I'll start. We'll go clockwise. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. Right off the bat, I'm giving this 8.5. The movie is really suspenseful. The movie has excellent pacing. You're on the edge of your seat the entire fucking time. And it also takes you away from the edge of the seat at a very strategic moment, which not all movies are good at pulling off, but I thought that it pulled it off. I read some reviews and some critics didn't like that. Some critics didn't like that. I can see where they're coming from, but for me personally, I was like, oh, okay, this is different. Let's see where this goes. I was still locked in, even though they stopped it at that high tension moment, and I appreciated that. Where this movie kind of doesn't work for me is near the later act, with when the barbarian, you've seen the barbarian in all her full, naked, terrifying glory, and that the scariness of not knowing what's out there kind of goes away, because you're like, okay, I see what the monster is. This is the monster. This is what we're dealing with. It kind of lost a little bit of the tension for me there, and it kind of devolved into a monster flick. And I just felt that was less interesting to me. But naturally, I don't know where they could have gone. I feel like that's the natural progression of this kind of movie anyway. So I can't be too mad that that's where it went. But the tearing off the arm, busting through the wall like Kool-Aid Man. Just a little cheesy, a little corny.
That was sorry.
But yeah, the monster, oh, she's dead now. Oh, just kidding. She's actually alive, and now your brain is out on the floor. Just a little bit more cliche near the end that I didn't think was too interesting. I thought most of the interesting stuff happened in the first half, like first, second, thirds of this movie, first, second act. Not so much the third act. But still great, still a good time. 8.5 for me.
I agree with a lot of that. The third act with like you said, how it became like a monster movie. I think at some point, I mean, obviously, I'm not a director or a writer or anything like that because I'm not. But yeah, if I were to do anything, I think the Barbarian would have been dead, or at least like gone somewhere else and not see her for like the third act. And when that homeless man said that there was scarier things down there other than her, maybe introduce something. It doesn't have to be another monster, or like just
surprise us.
So yeah, surprise us with something else.
You've been surprising us this entire movie. Surprise us one more time.
Which I mean, the old man was surprising, but I don't think it was as a. I don't think it was like that big of a shock to see him.
Yeah.
Rather than some other like monstrosity or like spirit or anything else.
Yeah.
I think when it went back to the 50s, it was I think a little out of place.
Yeah.
For the movie. I think that was a little jarring for the movie to go that way. I like it because now they won't make a sequel to this movie about the like barbarian creation, like
barbarian origins.
Yeah, barbarian origins. They've already got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Don't count your chickens yet. All right.
I know.
There's still a 40-year time period between that and that. Just saying.
So much incest.
Yeah, so much
left
incest.
Unspoken.
I like you said before too. I normally don't watch scary movies. It's just not my thing. I have a lot of anxiety, and scary movies bring a lot of anxiety. This movie was extremely suspenseful, even at parts where it shouldn't be suspenseful. Yeah. I would give this an 8. Solid 8.
All right. So we got 8.5 and 8. So right off the bat, I'm going to say a 9. Definitely a 9.
Yeah.
Personally. So we'll just go out and say it's an 8.5.
Yeah. We'll crunch the numbers later.
Yeah, we'll crunch the numbers later. But I give it a 9 because I saw this movie on a whim.
Yeah.
I wanted to see it in the first place, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go see a movie. And the movie was starting in 10 minutes. And I live 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
Well, the trailer. So I missed a couple minutes of the trailers, whatever. And I just wanted to see a movie. I didn't see any like advertising for this at all. I never saw this in any trailer beforehand. I didn't see this on the internet except for that one, on Facebook, and then went to YouTube. But then I saw, it's from a, quote, producer, not producers, singular, by the way, producer of it. It had Bill Skarsgård in it, so it had Pennywise himself. I'm like, okay, we got a good actor here. It didn't even mention Justin Long at all. I had no clue he was going to be in this movie. At all, because his name wasn't in like the intro credits at all. All the names are in the end outro, like the end credits.
Yeah,
did not expect to see Justin Long at all, and really because it's a very very small cast.
Yeah.
5 people max for the whole movie. And just thinking like, oh, I thought it was gonna be a generic horror movie. I knew it was gonna be horror or something mystery wise. Like I said, mystery horror.
Yeah.
Until I think what made the movie better for me was the people behind me.
Oh, really?
It was like, this family.
Dude,
like
audience
old,
reactions, it's a thing.
It was some old black lady and her friend. We're like,
nice.
oh man, don't go in there. I was laughing because at first I was like annoyed they were speaking, but then their reactions, because it's their reactions how I wanted to react out loud.
Yeah.
I was like, my hands up in the air, like, like what's going on? Trying to rip my scalp off my hair, like hands under my knees, like what's going to happen? So yeah, I'll give it a 9 because I like the darkness of it. I like the tension, the rising tension.
So good.
And then it's like you're stretching the rubber band and then you just let go right before it breaks. So you can keep going again. Which is great. We needed that break.
Edging.
And I know Jonah needed that break too.
I did. I think my sweatshirt needed that break.
All in all,
yeah.
I thought it was a great flick because
I
haven't, like we said before, I haven't seen a good horror movie in a very long time.
It's been a minute.
It's been a very long time. And I appreciate it that it's not wasting your time on gore.
Yeah.
It's not wasting
It wasn't
your time.
it wasn't cheesy.
Yeah, cheesiness. It got you with sheer terror of what's going to happen next. That's it. Just straight up mystery of what's going to go down because I can't figure it out. Normally, movies, you can piece together what you know is going to happen. Yeah. Oh, it's the guy's brother the entire time. Oh, no, she's a spy. But this, couldn't peg it. So that's why I give it a nice 9.
I can appreciate that.
And we're crunching the numbers with a nice total 8.5.
Nice. I'm very satisfied with that.
I am too. And I believe the next go is...
It's on Jonah.
It's Jonah.
This time around.
What
you got?
I had some trouble picking. I recently watched the Dahmer series on Netflix.
All right.
Which is, I mean, it was pretty in depth. But since that whole thing, 2003, Monster, which is
I saw it.
Based on the life of Eileen Wuornos.
The Charlize Theron movie?
Yes.
Charlize Theron and what's her name?
Christina Ricci.
Christina Ricci, yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
I saw it a couple months ago, actually.
Really?
Yeah, before I moved here in the apartment.
Monster. Okay.
It's pretty good. She won an Oscar for that movie.
Dude, we're going on a killer, scary. We're doing a real October themed.
I like it.
Going on. Yeah.
Yeah. I also, like, before I got here, I was thinking, all right, Jonah, I know scary movies aren't your thing, but you need to think of something very October. And I'm like, I'm looking on like my Internet Movie Database of all like the movies I've seen and reviewed and stuff like that, or not reviewed, but like starred. And I clicked the horror tab of like all that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've seen very, very small amount of horror movies that I would even recommend.
It's not a lot that people would recommend, yeah.
Well,
a lot of them are just cheesy.
Yeah, it's cheesy or lame. I mean,
sometimes
unless you guys wanted to watch that Fright Night from the 80s. No thanks.
Or the one from 2010.
Or the one
with what's his name? The Irish guy.
Oh, with freaking Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
Colin Farrell and Anton Yelchin.
Oh yeah.
Rest in peace and peace.
R.I.P. Yeah.
Man, that guy he died from like getting hit by a car.
His Jeep
trapped like
the parking brake on his Jeep failed. Actually, that the company was it Jeep? I don't know if it was Jeep.
It was a Jeep.
He was checking his mail, wasn't he? He like got out to check his mail, and
he was doing some regular ass shit.
And it just freak accident.
And the parking brake failed, and it literally pinned him against the wall, like crushed his lungs, and he died a slow ass death.
He was no shit a rising star.
Yeah, no, he was good.
He was on his way.
Yeah,
he was only what 25, 26 when
he was young.
He was young.
He was young.
Or Odd Thomas. Oh, and Star Trek.
All right, let's wrap it over here. But movie is Monster. See you guys next time.
Later.
Flick.